Welcome back to the Elwin YouTube channel, where you'll be taking a plunge into our unique philosophy for life and design. See others as yourself. See families as your family. See towns as your town. See countries as your country. See worlds as your world. Excerpt from the Tao Te Ching writings. Without further ado, let's get into our interesting facts of the day. And now for our first interesting fact in this video. Despite their East Asian roots, Taiwan is one of the leading Taoist societies. And guess what? Their current president, ing-wen, is a successful lady with an extremely powerful influence over Taiwan. Our interesting fact number 2. Have you ever heard of foot binding? Confucian teachings and assumptions propelled a lot of misunderstanding in how to treat women in ancient China, thus sadly promoting disregard for female babies. Luckily, a lot of that has changed. In this week's video, we're specifically discussing the difference between Daoism and Confucianism. Hold on a second, what's Daoism? Is that like an alternative to Taoism? Actually, they're one and the same. Taoism just so happens to have been the original pronunciation due to being farther down the line, whereas Daoism is pretty much the modern way of pronouncing it. So, in order to cut out further confusion while using the alternative term, we'll simply refer to it as Daoism for the sake of modernizing it. As Lao Tzu, the founder of Daoism, desired to emphasize the importance of nature and how one can use it in life in order to solve different issues, he believed that the Dao, or the way, provided guidance to maneuver through life. Due to nature's more consistent character, he truly believed that nature could give us the answers that we need at any given time, that the universe possesses a certain higher spirituality that brings harmony and balance to our lives. Thus, the concept of yin and yang is crucial to the Taoist mindset. In other words, Daoism had everything to do with living at a higher position of personal spirituality. On the other hand, Confucianism has some similarities or borrowed ideals from Daoism, since Confucianism came to the scene later on. Founded by Master Kong, Confucianism was never intended to be a religious belief. Instead, it had much more to do with practicing daily and practical rituals in order to attain a better life day by day, moment by moment. Confucius claimed that these practices fostered higher morality and a more positive contribution to society as a whole. That is why one of the central themes to this philosophical system is to honor and respect our elders as well as our ancestors. The overarching idea here is that fortune and goodness will follow us as we restore order into our moral character, our everyday habits, and aim to improve society in doing so. Another notable difference, albeit a very controversial one on many levels, is that Confucian texts and writings didn't include very much regarding women, and if anything was said about women in general, it was always to empathize with the patriarchal nature of the philosophy, thus making females drastically inferior to fathers, sons, and husbands. Yes, and as a result, we still see a great chasm even now in the 21st century. Not only is this a social issue in the culture of mainland China, but as Confucianism trickled into other societies like South Korea, the effects are still in play as we see females being regarded with a lesser degree of importance. Of course, not everyone adopts this perspective, but the framework in South Korea is such that women have to compete at an intense level in order to obtain a reputable job or to even have her resume looked at if she is considered quote-unquote pretty by their societal standards. As a result, now we're witnessing the other extreme of the spectrum, in which women are finally adopting greater confidence in their own achievements, but at the expense of not wanting to start families, which there is the unfortunate social issue now where reproduction is almost like a thing of the past. On the flip side, since Daoism was all about the yin and yang symbol, which condones opposites that cosmically harmonize with one another, Daoism placed women on the same playing field as men. Crazy, right? Most of us probably don't think about ancient China, or any nation back then for that matter, as holding such a high view of females. But yes, indeed, It was undoubtedly believed that without the complementary efforts and characteristics of the female role, the male role could not be complete nor understood clearly. Think of it this way: darkness is not easily noticed when the light shines into it. As we can see, Daoism and Confucianism seem to have similarities, maybe because they've been portrayed as one and the same throughout the history of films and media entertainment. But really, they couldn't be any more different, and that is more and more apparent as we learn their inherent values and worldviews, of which we see the effects in different Eastern cultures even today. So please do tell, did you learn something new or shocking in today's video? Why don't you leave us your thoughts in the comment section down below? And as usual, please like and subscribe to our channel so we can rise to the top. Thank you so much for watching.